so here we've got 19 and 20, a couple of more systems of equations problems. So 19 is also, it also says to solve 19 by elimination. But when we look at this at first, we cannot eliminate anything because there's no opposites, there's no the same matching variables, right? 4x, negative 3x, negative 4y, 8y. So in order to make this happen, we need to multiply one of these first. So the easiest thing I can see here would be to multiply the top equation by 2. Because I multiply the top equation by 2, the whole thing, right, where we multiply everything by 2, it's going to make this negative 8y. And then that would be opposites to the 8y over here. So I'm going to rewrite this to the right. So I get 8x minus 8y equals 32. And the bottom equation stays the same. Now you can multiply. I could have multiplied either equation. I could have multiplied both equations, but I would say pick the shortest path to the answer. In this case, multiplying the top by 2 to make that negative 8 would be the best option. All right, so now we've got opposites, meaning to make 0 there, we have to add. So we add them, we get 0. 8x plus negative 3x is positive 5x. 32 plus negative 12 is positive 20. Divide by 5 on both sides, we get x is 4. Okay, so x is 4, but we still need to find y to complete our point. So I can pick either of the two equations, although she's the first one. 4x minus 4y equals 16. So that's 4 times 4, because we're substituting the 4 in the x spot. All right, so I get 16 minus 4y equals 16, and see I'm going to subtract 16 here, 0 there, 0 there, so I get negative 4y equals 0. Well, the only thing that could go here to make this work would be 0, so y has to be 0. So our answer is 4, 0, which means that D is our answer. All right, so for 20, I'm going to read this. I've already kind of put down the basic information you need to solve, but the water park is a popular field trip destination. This year, the senior class at High School A and the senior class at High School B both planned trips there. The senior class at High School A rented and filled 3 vans and 14 buses with 845 students. High School B rented and filled 11 vans and 7 buses with 527 students. Every van had the same number of students in it as did the buses. Find the number of students in each van and in each bus. So here's all the information that you need for that. So we're going to set up a system of equations, solve it, and help us figure out how many students there are in a van, how many students there are on a bus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my variables. I'll use V and B is fine. So V is going to represent the number of students in a van, and B will represent the number of students in a bus. That's what we're trying to solve here. All right, so High School A would be, the equation for High School A would be, there's 3 vans, and they all have V students in them, plus there's 14 buses, each with B number of students in those, and it equals 845 students total. So that would mean the second equation would be 11V plus 7B equals 527. All right, so now you just got to solve this using any of the methods we talked about, substitution, elimination. Typically, elimination has been the better choice here. So looking at this, we don't have opposites, but I can quickly make, or matching variables, we can quickly make matching if we just multiply this top one by 2. All right, so let me just make sure that we have enough room here. All right, so when I multiply this out on the bottom, I get 3V plus 14B equals 845. And on the bottom, I get 22, right, because I'm multiplying this 2 times everything. 22V plus 14B equals 527 times 2 would be 1,054. Okay, so now I'm going to subtract, because 14b minus 14b makes 0. All right, 3v minus 22v is negative 19v, because we're taking away more than we have. 845 minus 1054, let me just pop this in the calculator real quick. 845 minus 1054, negative 209. All right, so when we divide both sides by negative 19, it's going to tell us that v equals 11. V equals 11, so that tells us that each van has 11 students. Let's see about the buses. We find out the bus number of kids in a bus by plugging 11 into one of these equations. I'll just use the second one, 11v plus 7v equals 527. So it's going to be 11 times 11 plus 7b equals 527. 11 times 11 is 121. So 121 plus 7b equals 527. So we need to subtract that from both sides. 527 minus 121 makes 406 over here. So we get 7b equals 426. And then divide by 7, giving us, so, oh wait, is it 426 or 406? 527, 406, sorry. 406. And then divide 406 by 7 is 58. So B is 58. So that tells us that, sorry, let's see if we can get all that. This says there's 11 students in each van and 58 students in each bus. So if I'm looking at the answers here, 11 students in each van, 58 students in each bus would be answer number, or letter C, be the answer.